How's it going, YouTube? Coming in today with another video, and today, guys, what the bring to you is going to be an important guide to Alin. Now, today we are just focusing on a few key topics that I really want to go over, especially if you're going to Rhode Island. I feel like this format is very interesting and something that we haven't really seen, and I'll tell you what I can compare it to in a little bit. But it's definitely very interesting where we're at right now, and I want to be able to go in depth into a few key points just to really make sure that you are as prepared for the format as possible. If you haven't already checked out my sponsors on RW, Cloud, Gem, Arla, Imperium, Dragonshield, or Grimoire, definitely go ahead and do so all down below. Subscribe to the channel so we get 30,000, and also go ahead and pick up my new playmat over on Imperium Duelist. I would really appreciate it. It's a really cool mat. It's the new Blue Eyes one, so definitely go ahead and check that out as well. But without further ado, let's hop right into the guide. So the first thing I'm going to talk about again is going to be the new Trinity. I'm going to keep putting this in videos after videos because I want you to know just how important it is. The first thing you do right now when you build a deck list, it should be 1, 2, 3. These three should be in your deck list 100%. If you're already playing Ash, Imperm, Fua, and Talent, or even Called By, it's absolutely worthwhile to just run the cross out. There's no reason not to. It is just a one-off that will come up for you 100%. You still play the one of Called By, and there's no reason not to just run the one of cross out. And then we're always running the one talent now because it's still just a one of. And even in most topping lists, you only ever saw like the one talent anyway. And that's another big thing because I feel like talent is insane, but also thrust got a lot better. And we'll talk about that a little bit further down the video. But these three are going to be so crucial this format. Please make sure that you do play these three cards in your deck list. These are going to be the most important. Now, as for a focal point of the next format, we have Fiendsmith, and this is going to be in a lot of decks. I do not believe that this is in the top 2 decks, but it will be in consistently the most decks. So make sure that you do have your DD Crows, your Bestials, your Gravekeeper's Inscriptions, your just Graveyard Shutoffs, your Ally of Justice Cycle Readers. Just make sure that you have an answer to Fiendsmith because you will see it very often, and this is going to be something where if you are running those cards in your deck as well, again, cross out becomes crazy, or if you're in a mirror match with one of the better decks, and we'll talk about which ones they are later, then you will have an option to go ahead and use cross out a lot more effectively. So definitely make sure that you are prepared for Fiendsmith because it's going to be like 70% of the room. If one thing is true, it's this format is really different, and the only time that I really can compare what we're seeing now to anything, it would be when Gamma went to 1. Because a lot of times, if your opponent activated Chaos Space and you Ash it and they chain Gamma, you lost. But when Gamma went to 1, you're like, I'm definitely just going to Ash that, right? Like, that's not a problem. But now, with Talent to 1, it's very reminiscent. And that really came true in my testing so far for Rhode Island, where I'd be like, man, I don't really want to throw this Veiler yet because of Talent. And I'm like, yeah, they could have it, but like, now it's a one of, right? So like, it's a lot less impactful. Granted, people are still going to play the talent over playing like the Gamma, but it's a one of now, and it's a little safer odds-wise, right? To go ahead and activate things like Veiler, use your Requiem in the main phase. If you want to go ahead and use like a tier limit cash tier is really popular right now. You know, that's one thing where you can do these things and not necessarily be afraid of a talent dropping out of nowhere because it's a one of. But I still feel like thrust is going to be really important. And I feel like the best option right now is thrust at D ground. Whatever deck you're playing that can do this, I heavily recommend that you do. A lot of times this is just a turn skip or your opponent's turn is like really suboptimal. So that's something where this is going to be one of the most effective cards that you can set off of thrust alongside grabbing talent, grabbing like terraforming, especially if you're playing like Malice or like Goldsark to make sure you can get back into the game. And you know, the second best deck in the format right now is going to be the Mitsurugi deck. I think this deck is insane. If you read any of like the new support, this deck is definitely going to be one that you have to look out for. You have to prepare for. Droll has to be there, the one of Shifter if you're playing Malice or a deck that can play Shifter. You have to be on Thrust and D-Ground, Thrust and D-Barrier. Whatever you have to do to make sure that you are aware that this is a matchup and this is something that you will be dealing with. Having Bestials is really important, so when they tribute the Ameno, you can go ahead and just banish it so it won't come back unless there's like a Kusanagi. But now it's not just Ameno, there's two Amenos now, so you gotta know like the middle word now for the names. But a lot of times you can just say like the Regeki, right? And everyone's gonna be like, ah, gotcha. So this is definitely going to be interesting because we do have like the tribute from your opponent's side as well for like one of the new cards, and it's really going to be kind of scary going into the next format against this deck. Granted, Malice is still the best deck. Like, Malice is still insane. We have the new Adagnister cards, we have Impulse, which alone, Impulse is a crazy card, and if you can run Impulse, you should. That card is absolutely broken. I think it's really strong, but going back to my previous point, you know, we do have Malice is the best deck with the new cards, Mitsurugi being the definite second best deck, and it might be on par with Malice. I feel like both decks are very strong, and if one goes first, they might just take the game because they went first. But Thrust set D-Ground is going to be really strong. I'm telling you this right now, one of the best things that you can do is Thrust set D-Ground. If you want to set D-Barrier, you can. Still pretty lackluster. It's not the best. But at least against the Ryziel Mitsurugi deck, it is really good to just call Ritual because Ryziel is the least scary part of that deck. So you really want to make sure that you are just going ahead and stopping what you can. But D-Ground is going to be a really good option. And this deck became a whole lot scarier. And I feel like Droll is almost a mandatory main 3 of now just because of the new support from Mitsurugi going into Rhode Island. So it's going to be like call by, cross out, talent, triple Droll. Right? So that's one thing where it's even pretty good into Malice now because there's a lot of circumventing cards like Small Worlds and Silent Minings and just all these cards that allow you to search, like even backup Adagnister searches, right? So that's another thing where dropping Droll into Malice is not even that bad anymore, which is pretty cool, just to have a better coverage in the matchups. But those 6 cards should be in your main moving forward, at least for now. That's just what we're seeing as, like, correct. I hate the word correct in Yu-Gi-Oh!, but, you know, it's, at least to me right now, it seems more correct. If this video helped you prepare, definitely let me know down below in the comment section. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't already checked out my Twitter, Twitch, Discord, Instagram, or subscribe to the YouTube channel, definitely go ahead and do so. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all for watching all my videos and many more to come. I'll see many of you at Rhode Island, and you all have a wonderful night.